Bring to us your poetry from inspiration sought. Come join us with your images, your verse, words, and thought. From here we'll share your balladry with those who do not know it. This platform's here for you to show the world that you're the poet.
Welcome to episode 78 of You're the Poet, the poetry podcast featuring you. I'm host Matt Burgio, and I'm here with co-host Phil Burgio. Phil, welcome.
Happy to be here.
Here at You're the Poet, our purpose is to share our love of poetry with the world and invite you to do the same. We want to start by saying thank you to all of our listeners who have made You're the Poet possible. We hope you enjoy the podcast and the poetry that is shared. If you've written any poetry and you want to share it here, whether you just have an interest in poetry, consider yourself an amateur poet, or are a professional poet with published works, contact us to be a guest on a future episode. Our featured guest for this episode of You're the Poet is returning guest Janet Tai, who is joining us from Malaysia. Janet, welcome back to You're the Poet.
Hi, everybody. This is me, Janet Tai, a.k.a. car singer, a.k.a. studio singer. I'm a lot of things, okay? You will find it out in one of my poems. I'm so happy to be back to You're the Poet. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Phil, for inviting me back. Now I have poems ready to recite. Clear your ears.
Yeah, we're happy you could join us, and we look forward to your contribution to the episode. All right, well, to start things off, I'm going to turn it over to Phil to share a classic poem for the episode.
Okay, this is a poem by Edgar Allan Poe, and I was surprised that I found this poem, and it's a light poem and kind of whimsical, and I never thought Poe would write a poem like this. It's called Lines of Ale. Fill with mingled cream and amber, I will drain that glass again. Such hilarious visions clamber through the chamber of my brain. Quaintest thoughts, queerest fancies come to life and fade away. What care I how time advances? I am drinking ale today. Edgar Allan Poe.
All right, thank you for sharing.
Good.
I always love a good beer poem. In fact, I know we were just sharing some beers with our friend Steve here not a few minutes back.
Yeah.
You guys drink, right?
Yeah, we do have our occasional beer and whatnot. We do love the craft beers here.
Okay. I'm a Irish wannabe, so I need my Guinness stout.
Yeah, we just had a stout too. Yeah.
Yeah, we had the Murphy Stout,
Ah,
which is very similar to Guinness. Comes with a widget in the can.
ah.
Very nice stout there out of, I believe, somewhere in England. Not sure where it hails from.
I was surprised that Edgar Allan Poe wrote this poem.
Yeah, me too. This is not one I've heard of by Poe. Usually his is like the dark, sad stuff, but it was nice to hear one about something a little bit lighter and, of course, something we can relate to. All right, well, from here, I'm going to share a poem for the episode. I've had sonnets on my mind a lot, so I thought I'd go back and pull one of my sonnets out of the vault, as we call it. And so this is one I wrote years ago for a lady I was in a relationship with. This is called Sonnet No. 2 for My Love. Alone and cold is she along the shore, as setting sun makes sky a pastel pink. The stars begin to show and seem to wink at her as if they feel the war that's forming in her heart within the core. Does he love me? Do we create a link that binds our hearts as one and to the brink? Or look should I for love that offers more? Her gaze then sweeps across the ocean waves and up to where the moon half full is shown. A memory of them within her stirs. It's then she sees the love in him she craves and knows with him she'll never be alone to face the world that joins his love and hers. Matthew Burgio.
Nice.
Like I've said in the past, you're such a romantic, Matthew.
I have my moments.
That's very nice. That's very Shakespearean.
Yes.
Thank you.
He's good at sonnets. I got to try sonnet one of these days.
It's interesting. Usually when I'm writing the sonnets, they talk more about my love and stuff like this, but this is a sort of an interesting sonnet that it puts the lady I'm writing the sonnet about as sort of the main character in the sonnet, where she is musing over some stuff. So that's something a little bit different there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, from here, we'll turn it back over to Phil to share his poem for the episode.
Okay, a little backstory on this poem. I frequent a brewery in Loveland, Ohio, Narrow Path. Give them a little shout out. Great beer, great people. And I was there a couple of weeks ago with a friend, and the brewer is in the final stages of pouring the yeast into the batch, and he yells out, "Attention, everybody. I'm going to put the yeast in. I want everybody to shout and scream." And the bartender says, "Well, tell him why." And he says, "Well, there's an old Norwegian folk legend that if you have a bad batch of beer, it's the trolls made the batch bad." He says, "When you start screaming and yelling, you tell the trolls that your village is on fire and they all run away from your area so they won't mess up your beer." So this poem is titled A Brewer's Dilemma, or How Chuck the Brewer Saves the Beer. One thing a brewer has to fear is how trolls defile the beer. Trolls lurk around and look for days to pollute the brew in numerous ways, stirring the vat with fingers or toes, adding to the brewer's many woes. But if the brewer is up on his lore, he has a trick or two or more. He shouts and yells to convince the brute the troll village is afire, better save troll loot. So by yelling and howling, he saves the wort, keeping trolls from adding more dirt. Philip Burgio.
All right, thank you.
This is the third poem I have hanging up in the brewery.
Very cool.
Every time the brewer makes a batch of beer,
Yeah.
he will have to start the shout.
He shouts and screams as he's pouring the last ingredients in. That's his tradition at that brewery.
Okay.
I think that's such a cool tradition, and it's a fun story, and I'm glad that they shared it with those of you that were there at the brewery that day.
Yeah.
And that's very cool, Phyllis. You've got a few of your poems posted up there at the brewery. That's cool.
A couple of haikus in this one now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Kind of a brew theme.
So it's like out of the brews in the brewery, you hear rambunctious noise.
Got to keep those trolls away.
That's right.
Well, that's kind of fun. Very cool. All right. Well, from here, we're going to turn to our guest portion of the episode. Janet, you're the poet. Show us what you've got.
Thank you, Matt. Well, here's my first poem. Trouble, trouble, double trouble. Yo, frustration. You should know how to pick a day to wreak havoc in my life. You've made me just want to scream at you. The man in the next room is driving John and I nuts with his antics. I was in the hospital on the follow-up check with my oncologist. Speaking about hospital, that rascal of a second son who is in another hospital recovering from a minor surgery when his OCD surfaced. Dang you, frustration. You seem to be working overtime, huh? My son and I has had enough of you. We are so worn out. As if that is not bad enough, my car battery had to choose a fine time to die on me. I thank Jesus that the car went dead right in front of a battery shop. Yo, frustration. I hope you're done messing with us today. John and I are up to our eyebrows, struggling to survive today. Would you just get lost? Janet Tai. Yep, that's my first poem.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
I like that. Was a good one.
I love this, how you're just yelling at frustration. Like, yo, frustration. Like, get out of here.
Oh, yeah. There are times where you know that there's a movie, a series of unfortunate incidents.
Right.
Or a day when everything that would go wrong went wrong.
Oh, yeah. I like that Lemony Snicket's, right? That series of unfortunate events. Love that. I do like that. Thank Jesus indeed. I'm glad you broke down right in front of a battery shop. That was...
hallelujah. Hallelujah. No?
I like that. Yo, frustration. I like that. Yo, frustration. Get out of here. Get lost.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was my car starter. Then I went to check the battery. Oh, it has been 4 years. High time to change.
But yeah, I love that. And like I said before, when I had seen this poem, I think it works well for the spoken word.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Hey, Janet, give us another one.
Okay. Coming up soon. Hold your horses. Let me see. My second poem. So my second poem is written quite recently on the 21st. Heartbeat. Do-dum, do-dum, do-dum. That's the sound of my heart beating. As long as it keeps thumping, I am alive. But who does my heart beats for besides myself? My heart is beating, but I'm only existing from the moment I'm awake till bedtime. In that duration of wakefulness, is there anything or anyone who's able to inject some morale into my beating heart? Nada. I saw no one and I spoke to no one. This is the period of my life where I should be enjoying my golden years. Instead, I have become a reluctant caregiver to the one who had destroyed my life. I want my pound of flesh. This heart of mine knows. I can feel its weariness in climbing the stairs, a daily struggle. Since life is meaningless, perhaps it's time to tell it to rest. Janet Tai.
All right, thank you. There's some good things in there. I like that, that whole sense of feeling alone, but who does my heart beat for besides myself?
Yeah.
I thought that was a good way to sort of capture that loneliness, that my heart is beating, it's keeping me alive, but who is it beating for, that other sense, that sense of love? And
Yeah, that's true.
I like the way you started it with the do-doom, your heart beating. That was good.
Yeah, that's the sound of, there's another person who likes it. He likes the way I started it. Do-doom, do-doom. That's how your heart beats.
yeah, very nice way to get that going.
Now you got a grandbaby, so your life is not meaningless.
Well, we as grandparents can only intervene so much. We cannot parent the grandchild. The parenting must be by their own parents.
But you got to be there for them.
Oh, yeah.
I texted my granddaughter today that there was a deer and rabbits and squirrels and birds in the yard.
Yeah.
And I said the only thing missing was a princess, and that would be you. You like that?
That's nice.
Yeah, I can't believe she just graduated high school. And I always tell myself, well, in my defense, she graduated a year early.
Yeah, but she graduated from high school.
Well, she's graduating from high school already. I'm like, they're growing up quick.
I tell you, children, babies, they grow like weeds, It's 1 year already.
Yeah.
You just cannot imagine it's already 1 year old.
It's crazy.
Time just flies. So if you don't capture those moments in print, in photos, you only have memories,
Yeah, we hope to make them last for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go on to this third poem, welcome back to You're the Poet. I know you've had some cool things going on since you've been on last. I think, episode 25? It's been a while since you've been on here with us as far as an individual episode.
Yeah.
But tell us what you've had going on. I know you have a book out, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. I've managed to compile a book of 100 poems. Of course, I had a very generous sponsor who helped me. Otherwise, this book won't come into fruition. And my publisher is from India. So the title of the book is I Make My Bed, I Lie in It. So it's an English idiom, right? You are responsible for what you do.
Right.
For every decision that you make, good or bad.
Definitely.
So generally, that title of the book is referring to a choice that I've made in a marriage. In my marriage, it turns out that I didn't have a good marriage. I was blindsided, and it's been 40 plus years. I went through a lot. In the book, you can follow my story from all the dramas and all the pain and all the sufferings. So you need to have a stomach for it. It's not a happy poetry book. It is a book that tells a story, except in poetry form. It traces my life sometimes from childhood right up till the present time. It's a book that will make you want to turn pages. Why? Because it piques your curiosity. You want to know what happened after that. What happened after that? So there is a very particular poem because I suffered throughout my life. The worst traumatic experience I suffered was abuse, then came cancer, then came another surgery for hysterectomy. So all of those incidents are documented in the book. So it has a timeline. It kind of shows you what sort of life I have had and how I came out of it, like I've been through hell and back. And I owe it all to my religion, my faith as a Baptist, and divine intervention.
Okay, good.
I had a first-hand taste of divine intervention. When they tell you God works in His own time, not a minute too soon, not a minute too late.
Okay.
We always listen to that, but you will feel the different impact when you experience it because it saved my life. At the exact moment it saved my life, my whole life changed. Changed in the sense that I became who I am today. I have a great sense of peace of mind.
Good.
I'm no more always on the edge. I'm no more cranky, bitter. Everything about me has changed. It is all thanks to that divine intervention.
How can we obtain this book? Is that on Amazon?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very cheap. It's less than $20.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely share links to that.
I'll send a picture of the book.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I look forward to reading it. It's on my list of books to buy.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Janet, you got another poem for us?
Okay, I have a final poem. This poem will round up about my whole persona of me as a human being. Things that people always tell me, you're so talented. Oh, you can do this, you can do that. But I tell them, those are small little talents that God has blessed me with. My job is to make it even more beautiful and present it back to God. Because what I have is, if I put my heart to it, I can do. Like in the Bible verse, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. All right?
Amen.
So this is what I can do. It's in this poem. What's the big deal? I can cook, I can bake, I can sew, I can climb ladders to do household maintenance. I'm a rat catcher. I'm a cockroach destroyer. I can do all the nitty-gritty. That's me as a homemaker. I can sing, I can draw, paint, I can take awesome selfies. I can dress up looking like $1 million in my evening gown. I can play the part of a classy lady. So yeah, what's the big deal? No one in your family validates your talents. You're only thought of when needed, not a word of thanks. Woman, wake up! Why are you still breathing? Janet Tai.
All right. Thank you for sharing. I love the whole sentiment of this poem, and I know it's under a serious vein as you get to the end there, but I love some of that. Like, I'm a rat catcher, and
I can do all that,
yeah.
I've learned a long time ago to be independent. No thanks to my spouse. I have to do everything on my own. Climb the ceiling to clean the fan, set a trap for a rat, look out for cockroaches. I tell you, I live in an apartment on the 3rd floor. I don't know where those cockroaches come from. Good heaven help me.
I like the part about I can play the part of a classy lady.
Play the power.
Yeah, you are a classy lady, Janet.
Oh, thank you. Only when I dress up to the nines. When I change my clothes and put on my bandana and open up my leather, I'm a total another person. Household maintenance personnel.
I love how you captured all of that in here, and you do such a wonderful job of it. And then, like, you bring that around to, like, woman to wake up, like, hey, why are you still breathing? Like, you're doing all these things. It's almost like that whole, like, well, what is the point? Like, why am I doing all this?
Yeah, my family do not value at all what I do. I tell you a little story. Once, back in the days, I had a concert performance. I played the keyboard, all right? I literally had to drag my boys to go and support me. It was held in an international school. I was about to go on stage. My boys tell me, Mom, it was a dinner table. If anyone in the table asks me, who's that woman? Your mother? We are going to say, no, we don't know her.
Wow.
How cruel is that? We don't know her.
Yeah, little kids, you just never know.
Well, I'm used to it already. I know there's no point grumbling. They are who they are. I only can ask myself, did I not nurture them right? Did I not give them enough love? Well, I cannot fault myself. I did my best.
Well, and I love the fact that you've come through all of this and being sure of yourself, and whether that's through your faith, you know, that no matter what anybody else thinks about you or whether they validate you or don't validate you, you seem to have a strong sense of self. And I think that's a great attribute to have there.
Yes, I do. Because I have to learn to live for myself now. Now I understand that no one's coming for me. You got to learn to love yourself more. If you don't, time is fleeting. All right, I'm 65 already. So do the maths. How many more years do I get?
Right. Well, I'm glad you've got that sense of self. That's great.
Hmm.
Before we move on, is there anything else you'd like to say about poetry or your poetic journey?
As far as my poetic journey is about, I have decided at one point that enough is enough, meaning I have for 3 years, all my poetical ammunition has been about my spouse, what he did to me, and my children, how they treated me. So I'm changing, diversifying my themes. I'm no longer going to center on my family or who done me wrong. I'm trying to learn to appreciate nature, find other themes to write about.
That's good.
So in that sense, my posting wouldn't be very regular. At the most, 1 or 2. Last time, it could be every 3 hours, I post one.
Oh, wow.
So all 3 a day, that was the general rule. So now I find myself posting very much less. At the very minimum, 1. At the most, 2.
All right.
Because other than ammunitions for this family, I have no ammunitions for other things that I don't get around. Unless I happen to be somewhere traveling, yes, if I go overseas, you do find me writing poems. Like one trip I went to Italy, that inspired me so much. Anytime I go overseas, I'm blessed, I'm thankful, and I always come out with a poem.
I've noticed that. Yeah, you definitely get inspired on your trips, which is great.
Yeah.
All right, well, we don't have any feedback for this episode, so as we wrap things up, we want to let our listeners know we're grateful that you've taken the time to tune in. We hope you're enjoying the poetry shared here, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast and share it with others. If you would like to support You're the Poet and what we're doing here, there are a couple of ways to help. You can find links on our website to our Buy Me a Coffee patron site, as well as our You're the Poet store, where you can buy You're the Poet merchandise and share your love of poetry with the world. Thank you for your support as we continue to grow. Please check out our website and various social media outlets to keep up to date with You're the Poet. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website, you'rethepoet.com. To inquire about the podcast and being a guest or to send us some feedback on an episode, send us an email to host@you'rethepoet.com. Until next time, Phil, thanks for joining us.
Anytime. Love being here.
Janet, thank you for being our guest.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you to you both. Goodbye.